history of Rwanda. Women were not even allowed to touch the drum. It was exclusively for men. We wanted to propose a new chapter, a new era.
My brother and I got on the plane to Rwanda for our first shoot in January 2010. So that's how long it's taken to get to this point. But it's been done for a year. We've been a year plus, really. We've been doing film festival circuit for a year, and we opened the movie theatrically. So I'd say it took 3 years to make, which in documentary terms, at least in the United States, where we don't have any government funding for films, is pretty short. We wore all the hats, my brother and I. We produced it, directed it, edited it together. We did bring a cinematographer with us on the first shoot, and my brother shot second camera, but then after that, he shot alone. We had a very small crew, which was the two of us and our Rwandan assistants, who we trained our interpreters to also be camera assistants. And that's how we did it.
Ubundi mbere wabonaga harimo intambara ikirangira byumva haribwagamo urwikekwe baratinyanaga cyane.
People had to reconcile with themselves and with life, because many people were really unhappy to be alive after the genocide. When you accept to forgive, to be connected to other people, then you move forward. When I met Jenny, I learned that she had an ice cream shop in New York. I immediately approached her.
I thought she was going to ask me about importing tea from Rwanda. She said, no, I want to have an ice cream shop in my town.
I didn't choose the country as a subject. I heard the story, I heard the skeleton of the story of an amazing Rwandan woman who had brought Hutu and Tutsi women together after the genocide. So the genocide ended in 1995, and in 2005 she had brought these women together to drum, and they broke the taboo against women drumming, as you learned in the film, and they became the first women's drum troupe in Rwanda. And that alone intrigued me. But then I heard that she had, in 2008, met these American women and asked them to come to Rwanda to open the country's first ice cream shop. And I just thought drumming, ice cream, and Rwanda were three things that usually didn't appear together in one sentence. I just thought, what is that about? I wanted to go and find out more, and that was really how it began. I asked my brother to collaborate with me, and within a few months we were on a plane to Rwanda to see what this story was really about. And I guess as a filmmaker I also had somewhere in my mind that Rwanda was a very deeply upsetting story to so many people, and whenever I spoke about maybe wanting to make this film, they would say, oh, that's so depressing. And I realized that the drumming and the ice cream were a way to bring the story forward, to make it accessible to more people who might ordinarily turn away from a documentary about Rwanda.
I'm very proud to be your partner, and I really, really believe in our success.
Here are these women, they were drummers, they were performers, and now we want to translate those skills and that energy into a business setting.
And has women drumming really taken off now in Rwanda, or is it still quite
It hasn't really taken off, although there are a couple of other groups now. It hasn't really taken off as a thing all by itself. I think it required a lot of leadership on Kiki's part, but I think that what the purpose of both the drumming troupe and the ice cream shop. They had their individual purposes of bringing women together. The drumming was a healing and reconciliation project. The ice cream shop was more of a entrepreneurship and financial empowerment project. But really, Both projects, what they have in common is that they were new ideas. They introduced something new. Kiki very definitely did not start something that already existed. She could have started a dance troupe with women from both sides. She could have started a basket weaving cooperative. Those things already existed. So for her, it was really important to introduce new ideas with the idea that once you kind of kick open the box, once you open a new paradigm, that paves the way for all kinds of changes. Small changes like these and very large societal changes. And I think that is what we're seeing in Rwanda. There's a lot of change going on in the country. Women are in positions of power like in no other country in Africa. There are more women in the parliament, for instance, in Rwanda than in any other African country. Some of this, unfortunately, is the result of the genocide and so many men being in prison. But also there's a spirit of change in the country, and it's a very important one.
Come hell or high water, we have to have something that's made of milk and very cold.
Trying is very important. Let's see how strong we are.
No teeth, just your tongue. This is good.
When you believe that something is possible, it's done already.
I wanted to ask, is there any further update on how the women are doing in Rwanda, and has the film had a direct effect on them?
We've received some awards and attention for the film, but quite separately, the film has cast a bright light on them, and they have gotten invitations and very important awards. They received the Common Ground Award in Washington, D.C. in 2012, which is an award that has been given to Desmond Tutu, to President Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia, Jimmy Carter. So that was their first sort of formal recognition, and then they were invited to the Skoll World Economic Forum to perform, and that's a forum on social entrepreneurship. They were invited to a TED Women Conference in San Francisco. So Kiki gave a small TED Talk and the women performed. And they're actually invited back to San Francisco in February. So they are beginning to get a lot of attention. And the ice cream shop is surviving. It's a struggle, like any small business, but especially a new product. But they are surviving, and they now sell other things besides ice cream, and they've gone through their ups and downs, but they're doing fine.